Welcome back. Since we have already talked about the gifts and how the altar is prepared, we're going to move into the Eucharistic prayer, and more specifically for today, the initial dialogue between the priests and the assembly. The Lord be with you and with your spirit. Lift up your hearts. We lift them up to the Lord. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God. It is right and just. With this, we now enter into the Eucharistic prayer. And this is what I want to talk about today. So let's break down each of these. But first, I want to talk about it as a whole. First, this dialogue is of ancient origin. It comes to us from a writing called the Apostolic Tradition from about the year 215. It is used in both our church, the Western Church, and also in the church in the East. And second, it is the introduction of the Eucharistic prayer that forms a bond between the priest and the people. And in a very mystical way, the whole congregation of the faithful joins with Christ in confessing the great deeds of God and in the offering a sacrifice. So let's look at each part individually. The Lord be with you. Although the whole Mass is the action of Christ, a reminder of this presence is made at this point. Remember, by the priest commanding that the Lord be with you, he is giving the assembly the divine help needed to enter into this greatest prayer with fortitude and piety. It also makes more present that person of Christ in the presence of the priest. The people respond, and with your spirit. Again, like at the beginning of Mass, this is just not a polite response, and with your spirit. And with your spirit addresses not the person of the priest, but the deepest part of the priest, where he was ordained to be more closely configured to Christ the high priest. It is the role of the priest in the person of Christ to enter deeply into this prayer, so that it is Christ himself who performs the gestures, handles the gifts, and pronounces the powerful words which it is impossible to entirely understand. And when the people say, "and with your spirit," they're making a demand, "Be the priest for us now." And when they do this, they are aware that there is only one priest, Christ himself. The second part, "Lift up your hearts," is a demand that Christ makes of his people. While it sounds poetic, it is closer to "up with your hearts." St. Augustine says that this is the whole life of a real Christian. To be a Christian of reality and truth, your whole life must be up with your hearts. God is above and we are below. And so we want our hearts to be where God is. In a way, it is Christ the high priest telling us where we are going with the prayer, that we are being raised up to the heavenly realm. And we respond, we lift them up to the Lord. Again, St. Augustine tells us that when we say this, we should strive to make our answer a true one, because this answer is being made in the course of the activity of God. When we say we lift them up to the Lord, let it be just as we say. Don't let the tongue declare while the conscience denies it. And the final part, "Let us give thanks to the Lord our God," is an invitation. It is an invitation, let us, an invitation to join with Christ in the person of the priest. The assembly is invited to interiorly to unite themselves to the prayers that are following. The words, "let us give thanks," call us to giving thanks, call us to thanksgiving. Eucharist means thanksgiving. We are being invited to participate in the prayer of Christ, who through this prayer and gestures brings Eucharist to his people. And we respond, it is right and just. Of course it is. This response manifests our will to effectively unite ourselves to the Eucharistic prayer with devotion and faith. These words are at every Mass. What comes next? The preface and the Sanctus, the Holy, Holy, Holy. These further push us into prayer and direct our minds, thoughts, and voices to the Eucharist. But that's for next time. God bless, and see you then.